Hey everyone, CPO here, and in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you my secret hidden setting on this Timber mountain bike specific bell. Now, I don't know if it's a secret, and I don't know if it's hidden, but what I will tell you is I found a non-traditional way of setting this bell that makes sense for me, where I ride and how I ride, and I thought I would share it with you. Let's dub it the downhill mode, or the periodic mode. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a Timber bike bell on my bike, and it is a mountain bike specific design. And what it's here for is, if you're like me, and many of you probably are, you ride on multi-use trails, which means I'm sharing the trail system with hikers and folks on horses. And so it's important to make sure that we all know about each other, particularly in the wooded areas, which is mostly where I ride, with hidden and blind corners and downhills and uphills. It's nice to be able to have some audible alert that I'm coming around the corner. More so for the hikers, and what I find is it gives them an opportunity to recognize I'm coming their way, and they just sort of step off the trail and let me go by, because it's easier for everyone if they do that. Of course, I stop and slow down and thank them. But at any rate, it's proven to be of great value. I'm not going to do a full review on this bell, although I'm going to show you some footage of me using it. But there's a lot of reviews on this and showing how readily people will sort of get out of your way because they can hear you coming. As a matter of fact, I had a couple of times where people have specifically said, "Nice bell," or "Thank you for the bell." And I remember one older lady was walking her dog, and I was coming around the corner, and she sort of, got off this side and sort of got her dog sort of sitting. By the time I got there, she was already sort of off and had the dog in a seated heel position. And she said, "That's a really great bell." I said, "Thank you. I'm hoping it helps." And she goes, "Oh, it helps a lot." So that was confirmation that this was the right thing for me, because I really do want to be a good steward of the trail system, and part of that is being able to get around and help each other with how we share those trails. Now, it's not a get out of my way bell. It doesn't guarantee that people are going to get out of your way. It also doesn't guarantee you the right of way. Technically, the hikers still have the right of way, even though most oftentimes it's easier for them to stop and step off the trail than it is for us to do that, right? So that's mostly how it works. But at any rate, it's proven to be very valuable. So the bell, I have the bar clamp version mounted here, and I'll show you a little bit of that when I show you the footage. It'll be from a chest cam. You can see how I operate that. But there's basically on the bell 3 settings. There's this setting, which is the off setting, and then you can put it on a couple of different ring versions. The full on, I guess, would be the louder, more continuous ringing version. There's a middle detent, which is sort of it still rings loud, but it's not quite as airy of a ring. And then I can turn it off to where it doesn't do anything. And the point of this is, as you're riding, the natural terrain that we ride on mountain bikes is going to make the bell ring. So that's how it works. But what I found is, for me in particular, as I'm riding, particularly when there's not a lot of people around, the constant ringing of leaving it on is a little bit sort of annoying. So I turn it off, and then when I see somebody up ahead, I turn it on and all that stuff. And then there are some times where on the downhills, again, these are multi-use trails, they're multi-directional, so I may have people coming up the hill the same time I'm trying to blast down the hill. I really do want the bell to alert them that I'm coming, but on a downhill, the thing is just like constantly ringing. So what I found is there's actually a place that you can put it, which is just off of the fully closed position. It's this right here, and I'll show you again some more footage from the trail that allows it to only ring on the bigger hits. So just the normal trail stuff doesn't do it, but then I hit a big hit and you can hear it ring, which means on a normal mountain bike trail, it might ring every few seconds instead of constantly, which is often enough just to alert people I'm coming. Then when I'm blasting down the downhill, it's ringing pretty constantly because there's a lot of big hits, and that's fine because I kind of want to alert people in those cases that I'm coming, because a lot of those downhills, at least where I ride on the East Coast, are, you know, tree lined and curvy and rooty, and there are a lot of blind curves. So you know, if you're on a downhill park and nobody's coming up, then you turn the bell off. You don't even need it. But if you ride in places where people are going to be coming up the same place you're trying to go down, it's super helpful. So anyway, let me show you some of this riding footage, but I just wanted to sort of set you up for what I came up with. And by the way, you know, Timber, if you guys decide to integrate downhill mode into your product, keep me in mind. I'd love to be one to test it for you and be one of the first to do a review. But if I pull it just off of the closed position, it puts it in a place where it doesn't ring all the time, but does sort of ring enough. So that's where I actually find I like to run it mostly. So yeah, let's check out some trail footage. This is in the first setting. That's in the last setting. This is in my hidden super secret setting. See the difference? It doesn't rattle and clank over every single bump like this uphill. But it will if I'm going with any speed over these bumps, which get a little bit of a break from the uphill. Here you go. I think it rings just enough, particularly for hikers, to hear that something's coming. And then if I see somebody that I really want to make sure knows I'm coming, I just reach up and hit the lever, and then it will continue to ring the entire way. So other than turning it all the way off, what I do is put it into my secret mode. Hold on, I gotta get up this nasty uphill. See this? That's off. There we go. Holy crap. This uphill is kicking my butt. Oh, smokes. Anyway, there you go. So I think this is a perfect mix of that on-off slider. It rings just enough, but it's just not constant through the entire ride. Like a ring every few seconds. unless I'm on a downhill that's particularly rooty and rocky, which all of these downhills are out here. This is Bacon Ridge in Crownsville, Maryland, by the way, in case you're wondering.